Hello everyone and welcome to my new video on stock market where I'm going to discuss about how to identify 100 bagger stocks. I will discuss about what qualities you should look in a stock which can become 100 bagger in the future. So I will discuss about many qualities of such type of stocks. And at last I will also give you like some of the stocks that I think can become 100 bagger or close to 100 bagger in the future. Right? I will also give some reasons for it. So do watch till the end to find out those stocks. Also understand the process of this and do not go to the end and just watch my stocks that are there, and understand the process, like how to identify this, right? This is important. Once you know how to identify, you can also do this, right? You do not have to depend on some others to identify this for you. Also do not forget to subscribe to my channel. If you like the content, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. So let's also, I will discuss something about me now. First, and then I will go to the next section. So first is that I'm investing from like last 1 year in the stock market, and mostly from last 1 year. I invested before also, before 2 years also, but that was very small amount. At that time, I was learning through books and videos mostly. And in the last 1 year, I have deployed most of my capital in stock market. I prefer investing for long term, like 10 plus years mostly. 70% of my investment is mostly in large cap stocks like Nifty 50 companies or Nifty Next 50 companies, mostly 70% investment. And 30% in like interesting stories that have potential to grow very fast or like turnaround companies, like companies which can turn around. So why do I invest in these companies is that these companies can give very high returns than the large cap stocks, but also the risk here is, of course, bigger than the large cap stocks. So that's why I have deployed only 30% of the capital in this. So the books that I have read are Once Upon the Wall Street by Peter Lynch, Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits by Philip Fisher, and The Richest Man in Babylon by, okay, I don't remember the author. I'm not written here. So these are the three books. I have read many books, but these are three popular books that I found interesting. So the first two books is on the stock market, and the last book is on the normal finance, like how to manage your finance, basically, last book. I will recommend you to start with, read all these three books, like they are very good books. Now let's understand what is 100 bagger stock. So take this example, you buy a stock at rupees 1, right? After 10 years, the price of the stock becomes rupees 100. So your money has multiplied by 100 times. So you got a 100 bagger stock. Now let's say final price after 10 years was rupees 10. Then your money got multiplied by 10 times. You got a 10 bagger stock, right? Similarly, 6 bagger, 5 bagger, 11 bagger, right? And you have a general term called multi-bagger for this. So multi-bagger can be anything. It can be 2 bagger, 3 bagger, 100 bagger, 50 bagger, anything. So those are typically classified as multi-baggers. And this, this multi-bagger, or I will say bagger, right? Multi-bagger, like five bagger, 6 bagger. This was, made popular by famous investor Peter Lynch, who wrote that book, Once Upon the Wall Street. Now let's understand this. Like, if you want to get a 100 bagger stock, what should be your compounding? At what price your stock, at what CAGR your stock should compound. So see, if you want to get it, so let's say, see, there are many possibilities here. So if your stock compounds at 36% CAGR, you will get 100 bagger stock just in 15 years. It's great, right? In 15 years, you are getting a 100 bagger stock. But at 26% CAGR, you get that in 20 years. At 20%, again, time keeps on increasing. So less your CAGR, more will be the time taken. So 20%, 25 years, around 16.6%, 30 years, and at 14%, it takes 35 years. So the last one, that is 15 years at 36% CAGR. I'm not telling it's impossible, but very few of stocks can do this in 15 years. Some have done this. I'm not telling that, but few of them can do. The next two are 20 and 20%, 26%. Okay, this is, I mean, this can be done. I mean, like you can find more stocks like falling in categories of 20 to 26% rather than in 36%. So of course, this can be done. 16% and 14%. I think even if you invest in large cap companies, you will be able to make 14 to 15% return, according to me. So we will mostly focus with like the time horizon should be close to 20 to 25 years, mostly 20 years, let's say, like around 25% CAGR mostly. So this should be our aim for like 100 bagger. So you should not be like, okay, in 5 years, I want 100 bagger stock. In 10 years, I want. I'm not telling you cannot get it. There are stocks that I've given, but I mean, finding them is very tough. I mean, if your luck is very good, maybe you would get, but otherwise it's very tough. It may also happen that if you follow the investing rules that I'm telling, it may also happen that the stock you select by that, it may happen that that stock only becomes 100 bagger in just maybe 15 years. It can happen. I mean, you need luck also on your side for this. So let's discuss important points to keep in mind while finding them. Of course, management, I will say, is the top priority here for me. I mean, before anything, look at the management. I will tell you why. So in India, very few companies in India have clean accounts, like clean account reporting. The financial numbers you see, right? Many of these numbers are, I will say, not true. So it was found, I mean, Saurav Mukherjee, right? He is a very top investor, and he also has a PMS. He manages that, and he was able to find that 70. So out of 500 top companies in India, only 70 companies have clean accounts. Like their promoters are very clean. See, only 70 out of 500. Now, if you go down into top 1,000 companies, top 2,000 companies, this amount will again become less and less. That's why in India, it's better to first look at management and then invest. I mean, just look at Yes Bank, DHFL, these stocks. I mean, what they have done to investors. You will understand. Like some of the frauds that can happen is like growth in auditor management salary, right? So if you compare this with your peers, and if you find the auditors and management salary for this company is greater, very greater, and these all are like the management is trying to benefit them, or related party transactions between the management, right? There are many people in the management, they are doing, and related party transaction. That means the company is trying to benefit them. Also look at maybe cash flow as percent of profit. So you have very high profit, but the cash profit is very low. I mean, these all are, I will say, very bad for company. There are many more, I mean, and for a common investor, it's very tough to like point out these mistakes, right, in the accounting. I mean, unless you are a CA or, I mean, I mean, say you know about that field, right? Like accounting, it's very tough for a common investor to do that. So better to avoid this risk. See, we are already taking a large amount of risk here, I will say, because we are mostly, you will see, we are mostly looking at very small cap stocks. So already there is a huge risk here. Now, why you want to take additional risk, I mean, right? So better to look at a good management stocks in this. So Harsh Mariwala, he is the chairman of Marico, and he is one of the very good promoters in India, I will say. So he did just I will say, a survey kind of on Twitter. Like he asked people to comment like who are the cleanest promoters in India. And this was the response he got, like Tata, like Premji from Wipro, Mahindra, Marico. Marico, of course, is his company. Harsh Goenka from Seat. He has Seat and many other companies, Infosys, Kotak, Godrej, Bajaj, HDFC, Biocon, Asian Paint, Bidlas, Murugappa, DMart. So these were from the survey he found out. I mean, from the users, Twitter users, he got these replies. So these are most of the, I mean, I will say clean promoters in India, and also I will mostly look at companies which have these as promoters when I give the example as at last. So the first, method here is that start with a small cap or a mid cap company. So I'm not telling that large cap company cannot give you 100 bagger returns, but it's very tough for a large cap to give such returns because their stock price has to grow at 20%, more than 20% for close to 20 years, 25 years. For the price to grow at 20%, their profits have to grow at 20% for a large cap stock. There are some like HDFC Bank and Bajaj Finance whose profits are still growing at 20%. But I do not think that, I mean, okay, maybe in the next 5-10 years it will grow, but I think eventually it will slow down after some 5 to 10 years, mostly for both of them. So for large cap, it becomes difficult to grow at such fast rate. So pray for market cap lesser than 5,000 crores and sales of that company should be lesser than 2,000 crores. That is mostly a small cap company, but even mid cap companies can give a 100 bagger. I will give some examples. This does not mean that you start looking at the penny stocks, like whose stock price is rupees 5, rupees 10, rupees 15. I mean, if you see companies who have market cap of 1,000, their stock price can be 100 or 200 or 300. You do not have to look at penny stocks and okay, this is penny stock, its price is 5, so it will grow to 500 in some 5 years. Right? So not think like that. I mean, eventually it's the matter of profits that grow the stock, right? If the company earns, the stock price rises. If it does not earn, stock price does not rise. So look at this. Of course, low price to earning ratio is also preferred. Like companies should not be overvalued. If company is overvalued, what will happen? Your stock returns will become less. I will say, maybe it's very overvalued. Maybe you will get only maybe 10x or 15x returns. It may happen, or 20x returns. And those returns are also not bad. I mean, but of course, we are looking for 100 bagger kind of a stock. So better to look at low PE multiple. And also do not compare PE of one sector to another. Look for the company in the same sector and compare their price to earning. Of course, if you have PE expansion plus profit expansion, you will get a multi-bagger. Okay, I will discuss about this at the last. If you have both of these combinations, the ideal is to look at like price to earning lesser than equal to 15. And if the company and the management is very good, then okay, you can overpay like 20 to 25 maybe also, because you're mostly looking at small companies, so it's okay to overpay. What about if the companies had negative price to earning? Then also you should not be like, see, I told you, look at, okay, I will discuss that at the last. So sometimes it can happen, the company is going through bad times and maybe its profit is in loss, it may happen. But that company is good, has great management, it can happen. And it has happened with many companies. I will talk about that later. Sales growth and profits is another important criteria. I will say very important criteria. If see, eventually, if the stock price has to grow, 100x times, the profit also has to grow 100x times. That's how. So this stock is a company itself, right? So the company has to grow profits 100x times, and for profits to grow, sales has to grow. So basically, sales and profits has to grow for a stock to become a 100 bagger. And also for long term it should grow. Then this profits should be cash profits. It should not be that okay, profits are there but cash is very less. So also look at cash flow statement, like how much cash that company is producing or generating. Another important point is that a huge market should be ahead. It should not be that the market size is very small. I mean, the company, let's say the market cap of that company is, let's say, no, leave that. Let's say sales of the company is 1,000 crores. And let's say if the sales has to grow to maybe say 20,000 crores, right, for it to be 100 bagger. Now, if the market size itself is maybe 5,000 crores, it's tough for that company to grow 20,000, right? That's why I'm telling the market should be huge for that. And it should not be a very competitive market. It should be with less players. And also it should be a growing market. It's not a saturated market. It should be a growing market. And also less barriers to entry is also very useful. Like if you have a monopoly company, right, where other companies cannot enter, right, it's very tough for other companies to enter in that sector. It's better, right? You do not have much competition in that. So take some example of like Royal Enfield and Bajaj Finance. So Royal Enfield was in a specific category, if you see, right, they were in premium bikes, and at that time nobody was in premium bikes. Similarly, Bajaj Finance was providing loans to unbanked population, like to whom banks did not provide loans. And this population was huge in villages and all, right? So that's why their share price also reflected that. And both these companies were struggling at one time with negative profits. See this also. High promoters stake, this is also very useful. Greater than 50% stake is, quite ideal. Because see, if promoters have good amount of stake with them, they also get motivation and they feel a sense of ownership to grow their company. Because if their company grows, they also get rich with that, right? Because the stock price increases, they have 50% stake in the company, so they also get rich with it. So that's why I'm telling that high promoter stake is also good. High return on capital employed. This is again very important because this decides how much profit the company make. And ideally, this should be like greater than 15% or increasing ROC. Okay, it's like 5% now, but you are seeing that it's increasing like 7, 9, and company is talking about increasing the return on capital employed. Right? It has a plan on this, like how to increase this, and you are seeing the numbers also that it's increasing. That is basically return on capital employed is like, I mean, so the company will be deploying some capital. Now, how much profits the company is making from by deploying that capital? So let's say if you are investing in fixed deposits, right? You are investing some capital in fixed deposit. You are making 8% from that maybe. So that's your return on capital employed. Similarly, the company, let's say it is deploying capital in making factories or something else, right? In research and development and everything, then how much profit they are making from this, right? That's return on capital employed. And this, whatever capital basically they are getting, if the return on capital employed is high, whatever profits they are making, they should basically redeploy these profits again into the company again, right? Then only the sales and profits will keep on increasing, right? Year by year. Basically expanding the business, I mean. They should try to expand the business by using these profits. Pricing power is also very important. Like operating margins should be like, this is basically more the operating margin, more the pricing power the company has. So it should be greater than 15% ideally, or at least it should be increasing year by year. Okay, it's now 6% or 5%, but management should be like talking about increasing that to 7%, again to 9, again to 10, something like this. It should be. And also, you do not have to enter the stock when the management is only discussing about this. They have not implemented this. So management is talking that we will increase the operating margin to 7% from 5. But okay, you can wait for some time. Let it increase to 7%. It's not too late. Then also you can enter the stock when you are seeing the numbers. Maybe you will get not a 100 bagger, but you may get a 60 bagger stock, right? Or 70 bagger stock. It's okay. So mostly higher operating margin is also a sign of monopoly or duopoly business. So you will see that most of the business that has dominant market share, right, in their categories, their operating margin is like 20%, 25%. You will see for most of the stocks, like for Royal Enfield, right? I mean, its parent company is Eicher Motors, and if you see the operating margin for them, it's greater than 20%. So if many other companies, Nestle India and many other companies, you will see these are monopolies and their operating margin is greater than 20%. Low on debt. This is very important again. It should be that, okay, the company is taking a lot of loan. Ideally, debt to equity ratio should be less than 0.5, or at least the debt should be decreasing year by year. Okay, they have high debt. Let's say they have debt to equity of 1 or 2, but ideally that should be decreasing year by year. Or at least management is talking about decreasing this with a plan. And I told you, it's okay not to enter at this stage when management is just talking about this. You can enter later when you see the results. It's okay. Like some company may be selling non-core assets to decrease the debt. This can also happen. So look at these signs in the company. Of course, avoid cyclical companies. So cyclical company, I will say, like metals, oil, airlines. So they do very good. When the economy is doing good, they do very good. When the economy does not do good, the profits like gets crashed, right? It's not a like 30% or 20% decrease. It's okay to decrease by 20 to 30% when the economy is not doing good. But their profits crashes by around 50%, 60%, 70%, right? You should avoid this type of stocks. Mostly high capex business, like they require a lot of capital to like maintain their plants and factories. So do not invest in this type of stocks or companies. So this is the best combination actually. So if you want a 100 bagger very fast, right, in 10-15 years, this is the best combination you can apply. Profits, the company should also be expanding the profits. Also margin expansion should be happening. Also ROC expansion should be happening. Also price to earning multiple expansion should be happening. So see, all four are related to each other. So mostly if the profits are expanding plus PE ratio is expanding, you get the multi-bagger. or 100 bagger in less time. Take example, if the price to earning doubles, right? Now the price to earning doubles means price has also increased for the stock. So from 1, the stock price has become 2 now after the PE doubled. Now from 2 to 100, you only need to go 50 bagger stock. You do not need to go 100 bagger, right? So the CAGR required will be less now. You understand this, right? That's why if the combination is something deadly like this, you get the 100 bagger very fast. And also even mid cap, large caps with above change, right? I mentioned above can be 100 baggers. Like if their profits are also increasing, margins, everything are increasing, then even large cap or mid caps can be 100 baggers in 15, 20 years. It can happen. So I'm just giving some examples. I mean, this has not happened. I'm just giving some examples. If this happens, they can be like these are. So Tata Motors is a large cap, and Tata Motors is a large cap company, and Tata Chemicals is a mid cap company. So I'm just telling that. Let's see. Tata Motors has 3 lakh crore sales every year. Their market cap is just 30,000 crores. Now think about Maruti Suzuki, which trades at 3 times sales, because Maruti Suzuki has good fundamentals. Tata Motors does not have. But if let's say Tata Motors becomes a turnaround company with the following the above, I mean, if the profit increases, margin increases, ROC increases, P increases, in that case, I'm just telling, see, it has 3 lakh crore sales. And if it gets the multiple same as Maruti Suzuki, that is 3 times sale. So 3 lakh crore sales. So it what will be market cap then? 3 lakh into 3, around 10 lakh crores, right? So with 10 lakh crores, the current is just 30,000 crores, right? So you see how much, I mean, so it's like 30 into 3 lakhs, right? It's close to 10, around 20, 30 bagger you got, right? Almost. So you see this, right? You got 30 bagger just by the following the first thing, I mean, the first line I have written here. But it's tough to happen that. It's tough to like turn around like that. Tata Chemicals is a mid-cap company. It has like 10,000 crores of sales. Its market cap current is 8,000 crores. Now, similar company in similar industry, chemical industry is Aarti Industries. It trades at 4x sales, 4 times of its sales. Now, if Tata Chemicals does well, right, it also like does well in the future, then maybe if it trades at the same multiples of Aarti Industries, what will be its market cap? Right, 10 into 4, 40,000 crores, right? That is 5 bagger from current price. So you understand this, right? How fast can they become 5 bagger? And if they keep on doing good, yeah, they can become 100 bagger also. So I'm just saying that it's not impossible in the large cap or mid cap, but they have to turn around mostly in that case. Or like in that case, P expansion should happen. I mean, ideally, in that case, I mean, if P expansion does not happen, I mean, growing at 20%, 25% profit for 20 years, I think is very tough. I mean, for large cap. Some potential 100 baggers, I've listed some of them that I think, in my view, and see, most of these companies are from what Harsh Mariwala I mentioned, like those promoters. So first one is like Tata Chemicals. I already talked about this. So this is already into basic chemicals. It is expanding into 2 other business like specialty chemicals and energy business. Tata Elxsi is another stock. Already it has a return capital employed of 50%. Its margins are 25%. 10 years profit CAGR is already 18%. But it's a small cap company, and I think it has a lot of potential to grow in the future. Godrej Agrovet is another from the Godrej promoters. It's into animal feed, dairy, crop protection, and vegetable oil. So these all sectors again have a lot of room for growth, and these all are mostly small companies. I mean, small cap or mid cap companies. IDFC First Bank is another. Like its price to book ratio is 0.8 at present. So I think it's undervalued. Plus V Vaidyanath is a very, I will say, trusty promoter, I think, in my view. Plus their loan books, I mean, loan book is growing at all, and they're growing at 25% already. And V Vaidyanathan has told that it can grow for a long time. So let's see this. Another is like Seat and TVS Sri Chakra. So like these are also from good promoters from TVS, and another is good promoters. So already they are 10 bagger in last 10 years. Already they are. And of course, they are not disrupted by the electric vehicles, right? Electric vehicles also need tires. Also, more vehicles will come, right? More trucks, I mean, more cars, more bikes will come, right? And also tire replacement will also keep on happening. So I think demand will not go down for them. Mahindra Logistics is another one from Mahindra Group. Like it has a huge market ahead. Like the logistics sector is booming in India and it has a huge market to capture. Or return on capital employed for this is already 28%, quite good. But it needs to expand the margins. It's just 5 to 6%. So it needs to expand at least to 10% maybe in the future. Also, there are three other potential, I think, like Kaya, TV18, and Future Lifestyle stock. So, like Kaya is again promoted by Harsh Mariwala itself. He is the managing director of this company. TV18 is from the Reliance Group, and Future Lifestyle from the Future Group. So I have discussed about these three stocks in three separate videos. Do watch out them. So the link is in the description. They can be potential 100 baggers. So I have explained that in details, like how the fortunes can change for this company. So watch those videos. Link is in the description. And also I will discuss more interesting ideas on my channel, and also I will give reasons for it. I will research into companies and I will give you reasons. So do not forget to subscribe to my channel for like those updates. Okay, these are okay. These I mean whatever qualities I told are great. You follow that. But then what? You buy a stock by following those qualities. What next? So remember that you also have to hold this stock, right, for 20 years. It's not that, okay, you want a 100 bagger in 5 years, and in 5 years it does not give you 100 bagger, you sell it. I mean, that's not how you get 100 bagger. So can you hold that stock for 20 years? That is the question. 15 years, 20 years, can you hold the stock? Most people, what will happen? They do not have the patience to, I mean, hold this stock for that long term. So that's where everybody sees that, okay, this stock has given 100 bagger. Then they will think that, okay, maybe I would have bought this stock maybe, okay, 20 years back, then how much money I would have. But do they have the patience to hold their stock for 20 years? And also to buy that stock when that company is struggling. So most of these, if you will see, most of these 100 baggers, mostly you will see that you get in 20 years, 15 years, are some companies which are struggling at some time. And that time, most of people will fear that, okay, I should not buy the stock. I should not buy. It's very risky stock. Okay, I get it's risky. Of course, it's risky. But you have to take risk if you want, I mean, good returns. But then do not take risk blindly. See the management. See how they're improving. See everything. It's not that, okay, I mean, just buy a stock blindly. Like analyze every quarter results. That this is important. That's why I'm telling you, do not blindly buy a stock and leave it for long term. Keep an eye on it like every quarter. Now, when to sell this stock? This is also important. So for this, I have made a separate video like when to sell a stock. Watch that video also. Like link will be in the description. This is also a very interesting question. Like now, when to what? Sell a stock, right? You have bought some stock. Now what? I mean, it's not blindly that you will keep that for 20 years, right? Analyze the stock. Now, when to sell should be also, you should also analyze that if you want to sell or not. So that's about this video, and more interesting content you will see from me on this channel. So do subscribe and keep watching my videos. Thank you.